Now, welcome to the morning call. Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara struck a deal with mutineering soldiers in the country to bring peace and calm, who are demanding better pay and working conditions throughout the weekend. Now, the president televised his address of taking into account their demands without any further details. However, local sources revealed they had demanded their bonus of up to arrears of $8,000 per soldier. Now, according to Ivorians who spoke to our Africanews correspondent in the country, there was a relative calm throughout yesterday, with roads leading to where the mutiny had spread, including the capital Abidjan, cleared of barricades and the soldiers had installed. This next report has summed it all up.
Calm has returned to Bouaké, Ivory Coast's second-largest city, 2 days after soldiers' mutiny brought activities to a halt, a move that was reciprocated in other military camps in the country. The disgruntled soldiers demanded salary increments, payment of bonuses, and promotion periods in the army to be shortened. On the streets, some residents were equally angry at the rebellion. I think that is a legitimate demand for people who defend our country, who are even the guarantors of the situation in our country. I think they are right to make these demands, but the means they use to achieve these are not appropriate. We have children, and when there is war, we can't work, we can't eat, we can't do anything. I don't work in an office. I struggle for a living. I go to the bush to find goods and sell at the market. This is our life, so what are we going to do? We can't travel, we can't do anything. In a televised speech on Saturday evening, President Alassane Ouattara announced the government has reached a deal with the soldiers. Information on the deal is very scanty, but the disgruntled soldiers who have returned to the barracks are expected to be paid on Monday under the terms of the agreement.
Let's try and understand the global context of this mutiny and tensions in Ivory Coast. Nigel Bakayoko is with us this morning, an expert on security issues, speaking to us from Paris.
Bakayoko, une experte en question de sécurité, elle s'exprime depuis Paris. Madame Bakayoko, bonjour.
Hello, madame.
De nous parler ce matin sur le Morning Call. Après cette mutinerie,
on Friday, the head of state agreed to the demands of the mutineers. What are the sustainable solutions to prevent this from recurring?
Pour éviter que de telles manifestations se répètent.
What seems important to point out here is that even if indeed the crisis within the Ivorian army recur, a reform of the security sector, including a part of the defense, has been adopted by Ivory Coast. It's a reform that is called the reform of the Ivorian security system, which has been adopted first under the UNOCI, the mission of the United Nations, in Ivory Coast, but also, of course, the Ivorian authorities have agreed to implement a number of reforms.
Donc la mission des Nations Unies en Côte d'Ivoire, mais aussi, bien entendu, les autorités ivoiriennes qui ont accepté de mettre en œuvre un certain nombre de réformes dans ce domaine particulièrement.
I also have to mention the creation of the National Security Council.
À cet égard, la création d'un Conseil national de sécurité.
Moreover, the vote of the military planning law, which was voted for the first time in June 2016, also setting up a civic service for the most symbolic initiatives. What are the major challenges that await the Ivorian authorities to consolidate the reforms of the security system?
La question qui se pose aujourd'hui est de...
The question is that what are the conditions of such long-term reforms? Remodeling a security apparatus cannot be done within 1 to 3 years. Reforms should be designed for a long perspective. And whether this reform will be disabled by the mutiny, it seems to me that the authority reacted relatively quickly to meet the demands of these mutineers, and thus to allow the continuation of the process initiated. But likely the challenges of Ivorian authorities will encounter and how to reconcile this reform of the security system with the promotion of the rule of law, in which the Ivorian state clearly seek to engage today.
Avec la promotion de l'état de droit dans lequel l'État ivoirien cherche manifestement à s'engager aujourd'hui.
There's also the issue of costs for such reform. Wouldn't it be an hindrance?
Ne risque-t-il pas d'y avoir certains blocages?
Alors, bien entendu, la réforme...
Of course, army reform is expensive. I'm talking about army reforms, but widely of the security system, of the police force, the border guard, and so on. Of course, to design a security system is a comprehensive way. In a comprehensive way, is extremely expensive. Ivory Coast has, however, the political and other support from the international community, including the United Nations, to carry out its reforms.
D'une volonté politique et d'autre part du soutien de la communauté internationale, notamment des Nations Unies, pour mener ces réformes. Cependant,
however, let's put aside my opinion often on the issue of financial factor. The issue of political will is absolutely essential, but also the role of the actors that are not of the government. Gradually conducting the reforms of the military unit.
Que le Parlement doit jouer dans la supervision du secteur de sécurité, y compris la supervision de la gestion budgétaire de l'armée. Je pense aussi au rôle des cours des comptes qui ont des choses à
By referring to those, I also think of the role of the Parliament should play in overseeing the security sector and the supervision of the budgetary management of the army. I also think of the role of the Court of Auditors that also have a role to play here. So yes, of course, the reform of the security system is expensive, but I think it is possible to move forward in a positive way.
Niagale Bagayoko, a security expert talking to us from Paris, France.